Why does the highly sensitive person seem to attract the narcissist when they are the most harmful to us? This subject matter was requested a while back by one of my viewers, but I wasn't quite ready to face it just yet. It's an intricate and delicate matter, and I don't believe in putting people down, but it's difficult to discuss NPD or narcissistic personality disorder without sounding negative or judgmental. But let's give it a try. First, a little disclaimer. I'm not a psychologist, so I just have to go by what I've read about this subject from specialists in the field, and even from YouTube videos from psychologists who are very knowledgeable about this subject. This is merely my interpretation of everything that I've read or watched, combined with my personal experience. I think it's important to point out that unlike NPD, HSP, or highly sensitive person, has nothing to do with a disorder. High sensitivity is simply a personality trait, neither good nor bad. NPD, in contrast, is a disorder that can have devastating effects on those around the narcissist. I won't get into how the disorder comes about because I'd rather focus on the effect that the narcissist has on the HSP, to shed some light on why we attract them and how we can protect ourselves. I've attracted my fair share of narcissists, the overt as well as covert types. Covert narcissism is a lot harder to detect right away, especially if you're unfamiliar with the characteristics of the disorder. But one thing that all my interactions have in common is the effect they've had on me. They would leave me feeling alone, less than, inadequate, and severely depleted. To understand this better, let's first take a look at why the HSP tends to be drawn to the narcissist. And second, why they are particularly bad for us. The narcissist often has undeniable appeal. They are charismatic, charming, self-confident. These are often qualities that us HSPs feel lacking in ourselves. And we are often attracted to traits in others that we wish to acquire for ourselves. I can relate to that, especially as an introverted HSP. When I see their effortless charm, I want to learn how they do it. I mean, it seems like such a good skill to have, knowing how to make a room melt around you. But what's in it for the narcissist? They are often drawn to the HSP because of our caring nature. We tend to comfort and support their precious little ego. So they get the admiration and validation from us that they need to feed their ego. So then, what's the problem? This looks like symbiosis, right? Well, us HSPs actually do not get anything in return from our relationship with the narcissist. The narcissist can pretend to be loving and caring until they get exactly what they want. But then they'll flip, exposing their true nature, which often consists of self-obsessiveness, manipulation, and even gaslighting, which is a topic that deserves its own episode entirely, so more on that later. And what we, the HSPs, are left with after this interaction is negative self-thought, emotional drain, self-doubt, and trauma. Your needs will never be met, no matter how much you give to this person. They will go to any lengths to keep you by their side, even if this means poking holes in your self-confidence, so that you feel you need their approval in order to feel validated. So if someone is making you feel this way, chances are high that they suffer from NPD. If they show an inflated ego, they always believe that they are right and that they deserve special treatment. They don't take the emotions of others into account, and they react poorly to criticism. These are telltale signs of the narcissistic personality disorder. When you realize that you're in a relationship with someone with NPD, or maybe it's even a family member, the best advice is to remain calm first and foremost. You can start by seeking support. Reach out to your community, your friends, your family, and let them know what's going on. From my personal experience, I know that this step can be really hard, but it can just be one single person. But let them know what's going on and what you're struggling with. Their support can help you get through it and help you find your centeredness again. And seeking help from a specialist like a psychologist can also be invaluable. For me, healing often starts by reading a lot about the subject matter. And I'll be sure to place some links of articles about the HSP-NPD dynamic that I found helpful. I also find healing in discussing it with a therapist. It helps me gain deeper insight into my choices that led me down the path of suffering. and choosing the wrong person or allowing someone to treat me poorly. I do my own inner healing that way, in conjunction with figuring out where to place that person in my life. Do I cut them out completely? Or if I'm forced to encounter them, like if they're the parent to your kids, then think about how you can change the dynamics so that they cannot enter your safe space anymore or cross any of your boundaries. How can you feel strong, safe, and shielded from their destructive powers? And are they willing to seek help for themselves? You can suggest it, but of course, the only one that you have any control over in life is yourself. And the last thing you should be doing is wasting your precious energy trying to fix the narcissist, especially if they don't think they need fixing. The initial question I received about this topic was, how do you leave a narcissist? I want to welcome any of you that have gone through this process to share your experience in the comments, so that we may gain some insights and learn from each other. But if I may add my 2 cents, I believe that the key is to familiarize yourself with the disorder so that you can recognize it in all its forms. This way you have a better understanding of what you're dealing with. Then, follow your instincts. HSPs have keen instincts for a reason. And if you have a safe community that you can rely on, keep them informed so that they can support you. I hope that this video helped to shine some light on the HSP-NPD dynamic. Of course, it is only the tip of the iceberg. And if you are a person with narcissistic personality disorder watching this video, I hope that this helps you to understand why the highly sensitive person is so deeply affected by your ways, and why we need to protect ourselves. It is not from a place of hate, but rather from a place of self-love. Be gentle, y'all. Till the next one. Ayo. I'll try to keep it still. Squeakity squeak squeak. Often consists of self-obsessiveness